Stampeders face a daunting task against the front-running BC Lions at McMahon Stadium tonight. The Stamps have managed just 2 wins in 8 games, while the Lions roll into Calgary on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, on paper it looks like a bit of a mismatch, but we don't play this game on paper.
Weather in the foothills will be a factor tonight. It's a nippy 13 degrees. The wind left to right across your television screen tonight, out of the north at 28K.
BC Lions' Wally Buono spent 13 seasons patrolling the other bench here in Calgary. He still knows the strengths and weaknesses of his old team. He's had yet to lose to the Stamps since moving to the West Coast.
And Matt Dunnigan's first year on the sidelines has been anything but smooth. The Stampeders are nearing the desperate stages of this season, but we're saying there's still a chance to make a run for the playoffs if they knock off the Lions tonight. Ready for the kickoff and dropping deep for the BC Lions is Aaron Lockett. And he's got it. Flags are down, and solid special teams tackling led by the Stampeders, and that was Andre Arlane. BC quarterback Casey Printers is the talk of Canadian football. The man most responsible, G. Simon, is the leading receiver. He is 26 yards away from another 1,000-yard season. And up front, David Geisman gets a start at left guard after injuries forced changes along that BC offensive line.
He's the story of the Canadian Football League, Casey Printers. Last week versus Hamilton, a CFL record. 90.1% of his passes completed versus the Ticat defense.
Lions will start deep in their own zone. Printers to the near side, and he's on the money. Jason Claremont makes the catch, and he stopped short of the 30-yard line, but he should have a first down.
One of the strengths of the Calgary defense this year has been John Grace, who is now out of the lineup due to injury. Wes Robertson replaces him in the core. The rookie has big shoes to fill. Milo Lewis will be challenged tonight by the #1 receiver in the CFL, G. Simon. He's in the game for Terrence Moore. Lewis will face Simon for most of the evening.
Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Tums. Tums tackles heartburn fast. An 11-yard gain for the Lions. And a first down. Printers standing in, looking deep, and almost at the 40-yard line, almost making the connection with Brazel.
Well, Casey Printers had to put it out in front of Brazel because safety Wes Lysak was running on an angle so that Chris Brazel, it was either catchable or incomplete, not possibly intercepted. Casey Printers had to put it out in front of Brazel, who just could not run under it.
Lions look at 2nd and 10. Ball back at the BC 28. Printers will put it up again. Or will he? Finds room to the other side, and got hammered by Lysak.
Calgary Stampeders defensively have talked all week about trying to keep Casey Printers in the pocket, make him a pocket passer. They feel, like most people in the league now that have faced Casey Printers, that he is most effective when he gets outside and runs the football. Now he's going to want to get down and hook slide on that kind of play. Wally Buono will say, look, we've got one quarterback in Dave Dickinson that's wearing street clothes. We don't want another. You get out in the open field like that, just go down.
A 19-yard pickup for Printers and the Lions, and they call a timeout. One of the things the Stampeders are really going to try and do is keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket passer.
Yeah, and this is what, we'll say it's Scott Cohen this time and Garrett Smith on this side. They're going to work on the outside and keep wide. Now here's how it develops and the concern and why it's a double-edged sword for the Calgary Stampeders. Once those ends get high, if they get too high, they open the inside running lane for Casey Printers, which is maybe more dangerous, and that puts the pressure on Joe Fleming and Sheldon Napustuk in the middle. They've got to control from inside the tackle to inside the opposite tackle.
1st and 15, and Linscomb has been running effectively for the Lions for the last couple of weeks, getting his third start. He averages 6.3 yards a carry in the previous game.
So it's one thing defensively for a team to say, let's keep Casey Printers in the pocket. And it's another thing to execute it. Now the defensive ends we're going to have to control, and defense coordinator Mike Roach for the Stampeders said it's going to be anchor points for whoever's rushing from the outside. That puts the pressure on Joe Fleming and Sheldon Napustuk in the middle. Wes Robertson will obviously be involved in that one as well, coming out of the linebacking core. There's the escape lane up the middle.
Yeah, and he escapes on 2nd and 13, but he'll be stopped short of a first down.
Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword you face. We showed you what happens. He escapes to the outside. Now the ends get a little bit higher, and they come in their pass rush, and now look at the lane that opens up. You see how Joe Fleming got caught way in tight. Now the lane opens up between Fleming and Wes Robertson, who went wide. This is what they have to try and balance tonight to contain Casey Printers.
And when you look at it, stopping him on a couple of first downs, it's a moral victory for this Stampeder defense. O'Mahony is in. McGarity is back. Takes it on the dead run and draws a flag on the far side.
Garrity talked this week about seeing the football more. Wants to be more involved in the offense.
Just 3 catches in his last 2 games, and he was the #1 target most of the way in the early going.
Holding, Calgary 93. No yards, 15-yard penalty. BC number 10. First down.
1 going each way, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Marcus Crandall and the Stampeders when we get back to McMahon. He's back as the Stampeders starter after watching 3 from the sidelines. His first pass goes incomplete out around the 40-yard line. Mark Washington was covering.
Well, this is a first chance, though, for Marcus Crandall to play in a more conventional offensive system rather than the John Jenkins system, which in his starts in Calgary this year, he played under. John Jenkins fired a couple weeks back as the offensive coordinator. He's now playing under the Matt Dunnigan system.
Crandall looks at 2nd and 10 here. And he'll get a first down as Ike slides out of the backfield. Crandall back as the starter. He watched for a couple of weeks. Wide receiver Wayne McGarity needs to see the ball more often. 3 catches in his last couple of games. And up front, the offensive line is led by Jamie Crysdale. He's right there in the middle in his 12th CFL season and his 196th consecutive game in this one tonight.
1st and 10 now at the Calgary 40.
Gain of 20 yards, and the Stampeders are out at the Calgary 40. Victor Ike on the ground this time, and nowhere to run.
Well, you just mentioned the Calgary offensive line. Well, they'll have their hands full tonight with a newcomer to the Canadian Football League landscape. That's Luke Tabeno, who has 6 sacks among the league leaders in the sack department in his rookie season. In the secondary, Sam Young, talking about leaders, leads the Canadian Football League coming into this week with 5 interceptions, and he also is in his first year in the BC Lions. First year starting, was in Calgary last year, so not a true-looking rookie like Luke Tabeno.
Victor Ike ran right smack dab into Tyrone Williams. The gain limited to 2. This is 2nd and 8. Nice pass, and McGarity makes the catch short of the first down.
Number 86, Wade McGarity.
And a penalty marker is down.
I think one of the Calgary Stampeder receivers about 1.5 yards across the line of scrimmage, and with Marcus Crandall's reaction, it may just be that he had the wrong snap count or changed it up on the fly. The receivers didn't pick it up. I have to get used to, again, the cadence of Marcus Crandall in the quarterback position. Tommy Jones played the last couple starts, so now the receivers have to get used to his voice again.
Offside. Calgary 82. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
How big a difference is this for a quarterback like Crandall to play under a Matt Dunnigan style offense rather than the Jenkins style where it was throw, throw, throw.
Yeah, it's a big difference because Jenkins was that run and shoot where quarterbacks had to make split-second decisions. It worked when Matt Dunnigan was Jenkins' quarterback. But now Dunnigan's going back with some run game, drop back pass, simplify the offense a little bit for Marcus Crandall.
Bear taking it deep to Lockett down at the 20 for BC. Aaron Lockett crossed the 30, took a hit at the 34 from Scott Cone. With their opening possession on the sideline, here's Jermaine Franklin.
Thanks, guys. Well, the Stamps really shot themselves in the foot last week as they were very undisciplined and eventually lost their cool in Saskatchewan, where they had over 200, racked up close to 200 yards in penalties and eventually lost in an embarrassing 30-point loss. Now, talking to Dunnigan earlier in the week, he said the problem has been addressed and we should see a different Stampeders team from here on out.
Casey Printers on first down for the Lions. He lets it go long. Receivers in behind the cover, and they couldn't quite hook up. That was Chris Brazel in behind again.
2 incompletions for Casey Printers on long balls that he's had to throw from the pocket. And again, we talk about the strategy for the Calgary defense is to keep him in the pocket. Talking even to the Hamilton Tiger Cats last week, they said they feel that Printers is most comfortable when he's outside running around. Most young quarterbacks with that kind of athletic ability are. 2 incompletions on long balls to Chris Brazel, both throws from the pocket.
And interesting to note that Printers only missed 2 all of last week, completing 20 of 22 against the Tiger Cats for 303 yards and 4 touchdowns. On 2nd and 10, he's in the pocket again, and he's got the target this time. Geroy Simon, who had 4 touchdowns for the Lions last week, courtesy of Katie Printers, will get a first down into Calgary's Stampeder territory.
Yeah, and it certainly doesn't mean that you are going to just stop him completely. I mean, this guy has been just too good over his 5 starts. You see, here comes Geroy Simon right here, and he's going to be the crossing route, get into that open area, goes out wide, and then he comes right back in behind the linebackers in zone and in front of the deep players. William Fields, the corner, in that zone defense.
Geroy Simon, the first receiver over 1,000 with a 27-yard gain there. Simon again. 4 yards here, broke the tackle. Simon gets inside the 10. Bose over to make the tackle. Joey Bose.
Saves the touchdown.
And that truly saved the touchdown.
Yeah, another way, and they go with a quick count and get Simon out quickly. Just get him in behind some blocking help downfield, and then let Geroy Simon do his thing. Boy, he is on pace for a huge record-breaking season. Looks like Geroy Simon's not going to slow down tonight.
40-yard gain for the Lions to be set up inside the Stampeder 10. First and goal to go from the 7. Printers with time, lobs it into the end zone. No catch. Coverage was too tight. Looking for Ryan Thelwell.
Milo Lewis got all the way over there. And Milo Lewis comes up with a play in his own red zone.
Penalty flag down. We'll check out the infraction here.
Milo Lewis in for Terrence Moore, mentioned off the opening of the show, and Lewis is going to have his hands full. He's going to face Geroy Simon tonight, and if it's not Simon, it's Jason Claremont, both having great seasons. Claremont on pace for about 1,200 yards this year.
In fact, no infraction, certainly not on the coverage in the end zone. And so the Lions look at 2nd and goal from the 7. Another toss, another miss. Catolo was the intended receiver, and Frank Catolo couldn't get there.
You know, and that's 3 times now that Casey Printers from the pocket has thrown incompletions. He had the one completion over the middle to Geroy Simon. So far, you can't completely stop quarterback with the abilities of Casey Printers. But if you can control him a little bit, have a couple of incompletions along the way, you give yourself a fighting chance. And so far, Calgary's done that.
And that's what you were drawing up a little while ago, trying to contain this guy.
Calgary number 2 is after the play. First down.
costly. William Fields back in the lineup this week. He wasn't around for the shenanigans last week, and this gives the Lions a fresh crack at it. It was 3rd down, and the conduct call against Fields gives BC an opportunity for 3 cracks at it from the 4-yard line.
Oh, and you know, after talking about it all week and trying to eliminate it, Matt Dunnigan can't stand that one.
Linscomb is into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Lions make quick work of the opportunity. First touchdown in Canadian football for Eddie Linscomb. And a bit of a gift from the Calgary Stampeders to the BC Lions when you look at the situation and what the defense was able to do there to set things up and force the Lions into a field goal. Instead, they gave back the ball and a crack at the end zone.
Well, here comes the run to Linscomb, but William Fields has really just cost the Calgary Stampeders 4 points. And if I were him, I might even go and just hang out at the BC bench.
7 plays, 75 yards. Linscomb hits the end zone, courtesy of the Stampeders. Stampeders lost composure last week, lost a game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Dunnigan has been working it on that all week, and these are his thoughts prior to the game and prior to the latest incident.
The difficult thing to deal with is losing our composure. You got to keep your composure, and we got to be better than that. So, you know, that's what we're working on. We talked about it all week, and put that to bed. And I expect a big turnaround as far as penalties are concerned and keeping our composure, so that we can have a chance of beating our opponent as opposed to ourselves.
Well, as a result of not keeping composure down there in the objectionable conduct call, it does cost 4 points, as you say.
A work in progress, I guess. But when you talk about it all week long, and then on one of the opening series of the game, your corner, after holding the team to a field goal attempt, it's an objectionable conduct penalty, costs you 4 points out of the gate. And they haven't got, William Fields is avoiding Matt Dunnigan right now, not surprisingly.
Here are the Stampeders on first down near the 30. Crandall in, a little high, and it's picked up. As Crum comes up with the interception, and it went right into his arms.
Jason Crum has, coming off his best game versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats, steps in for Martavius Houston a couple weeks back, and what a job he's done at that free safety. He's really starting to learn the position. He's been a special teams player throughout his career. He shows great range there, going from the middle of the field all the way over. When that ball is slightly overthrown from Marcus Crandall, Jason Crum is right there. If you get an overthrown receiver, chances are it's going the other way.
Jason Crum with the interception, is first on the season, and that sets the BC Lions up inside the Stampeder 45. Linscomb, not much running room for Linscomb. Maybe a yard there is all he'll get, maybe 2.
Jason Crum leads the Canadian Football League in special teams tackles, has been Mr. Utility for the BC Lions, holds on field goals, plays on all the special teams, and in the last 3 games has been the starting free safety and really coming into his own in that position. Gives the BC Lions one more crack at points early on here.
This will be 2nd and 8 for the Lions. KC Printers has a target. Brazel has it this time, and he's inside the 10. Nate Terry made the tackle on Chris Brazel. And the Lions, an explosive bunch.
They've been wanting to use Chris Brazel's speed, and look at Geroy Simon, what he brings to this football team outside of his ability to catch. He comes over and blocks George White, the linebacker, off the edge. That opens up a nice lane for the throwing lane for KC Printers to hit Chris Brazel. They've been trying to hit Brazel deep with a little blocking help from his buddy Simon. They finally get it done.
It's a 31-yard gain here. The Lions inside the 10. 1st and goal to go from there. Printers lost the ball, got it back. And that's the way things are going for KC Printers so far this season.
Well, you know, KC Printers last week, when he put up that record-breaking performance and completion percentage, was really having his way with the Ticat defense. He's not done that in Calgary. He's had good field position, He's missed some players. He's fighting a little adversity for the first time in his CFL career so far this young year.
Wes Robertson created the fumble. Printers got it back. It's second and a lot longer to go for the end zone. Flag is down. Printers missed his target right on the goal line as he was looking for Cutolo, who laid out, couldn't bring it down. And the Stampeders indicate this penalty is going against the Lions. We'll get the official word from the guys in stripes, not the guys in white.
Matt Dunnigan will decline that penalty as he's indicating on the bench because it was second down.
BC number 60. Penalties declined. Third down.
That makes it third down, and now the Lions are forced to kick a field goal. But when you look at what KC Printers has done in his starts and just the record-breaking performance in his projections, this is a pretty good start for the Calgary defense.
Well, this BC quarterback was good on 90% of his passes last week. So Omani is in, riding a nice little streak of 12 straight field goals. It'll be Crum to put it down as the Lions look to make it a 10-point advantage. Duncan Omani has 3 more, and the Lions take advantage of a turnover to make it 10-0.
Going camping? Don't forget your matches.
I saw how to do this on the Discovery Channel, okay? And I'm gonna do it. Stop, drop, and roll!
Without a paddle. Now playing.
Crown Royal, proud sponsor of the CFL. Visit our website.
Stampeders defense has had a moment or two against KC Printers in this one and limited his passing completions to under 50% so far.
They're playing well because when you look at KC Printers' projections, his first 8 games, there's his numbers, 19 touchdowns. Look at that projected over 18 games, 5,500 plus, 43 touchdown passes. I mean, quite simply, KC Printers has been having his way with defenses since becoming a starter for Dave Dickinson. Now, tonight, 4 of 9 for KC Printers, well below his season completion percentage average. So the Calgary defense is holding their own right now. It should be 6-0 if not for 1 penalty to William Fields. Still 10-0, but Calgary defense doing all right so far.
Sanford returning for the Stampeders, has a seam to the outside, down the sideline. And Calgary gets great field position from a fine return. They'll spot it out around the 50. 39-yard return. So Lucio Sanford and Marcus Crandall had his last pass intercepted.
A bit of an overthrow for Marcus Crandall. Right to Jason Crum, playing that safety position. Calgary Stampeders this week in practice worked hard on the running game. We haven't seen a lot of that just yet. We may on this series.
Denny Montana wide to the near side. First down, Stampeders. Nice play action fake. Montana the catch. Good move after the catch. He turns it into a first down and 5 yards after that. Montana hammered out of bounds.
Well, he gets run out of bounds hard, and some of the Stampeders down there on the bench wanted a penalty for a late hit, and I don't think that's the case. Montana makes a nice move at the point of attack, and defensive backs often do that on that hitch pass. They come flying up to make the big hit. And the question was whether or not Jason Crum gave him an extra push once he was out of bounds.
Sam Young forced him out.
First and 10.
It'll be a 17-yard gain.
Had that been a quarterback, they would have called it.
Here are the Stampeders. Crandall with time. Now flags go down, and he one-hopped it on the far side. Montana again. And we'll check out the infraction. Has to be an indication against the Stampeders, and holding the likely guess here. And maybe one going the other way as well, as they talk to both teams down there.
Holding, Calgary 64. Illegal contact on a receiver, BC 26. First down repeated.
Carl Kidd will play aggressively, and he will come up and make some contact on a bunch of receivers all game long.
It's not coincidental that the Lions have won 4 in a row since Carl Kidd has been back in the lineup either. I mean, Printers has been a huge part of the story, but the BC defense plays a lot tougher with Kidd in there. First down, Calgary. Crandall. McGarity swinging out of the backfield, and he's across the 45 in BC territory.
And there's one way to get Wayne McGarity the ball a little bit more on that swing pass. We saw one from the BC Lions to Geroy Simon. And they keep Victor Ike back in the backfield as a run threat, and then have McGarity swing out, try and get some success on first down.
Second down and 7, Calgary at the 45.
It'll be a gain of 3. 1:24 to go in the opening quarter. Stampeders looking to answer 10 points for the Lions. This is Ike. And a little confusion, a bump in the backfield, and Floyd was there to make the tackle.
Yeah, Floyd makes the tackle. Tyrone Williams makes the play. Tyrone Williams is in the very middle of that offensive structure. He's right in here. And watch the penetration he'll get down the middle and how much of a problem he causes for Marcus Crandall. There's Tyrone Williams right up the middle, pushes Victor Ike deep, and now that gives Otis Floyd tons of time to just move to the outside and pull him down. Otis Floyd, a former Calgary Stampeder, now with the BC Lions.
Number 8, Charlie Hebert. Punt formation now for
Charlie Hebert back at his 45. Aaron Lockett for the Lions at his 15.
I'm just wondering what are you using?
Nice kick inside the 10. Lockett tripped over the 15. He was pinned right there. Holding on the return, charged against Kelly Lockbaum for the Lions. So BC will begin back inside the 5.
Good field position for the Calgary Stampeders right now. Now, a lot of quarterbacks, and KC Printers being one of them, in this point of the field would like to drop back and try and go deep, get themselves out of a hole in one play.
His biggest problem is who to throw it to deep in Printers. He's got a lot of targets available.
Again, it's Chris Brazel.
Brazel, the speediest of the gang. Lots of talk about the fact that the BC Lions have a great opportunity to have 4 receivers over 1,000 yards before this season is over. We saw Geroy Simon go over 1,000 already tonight. Cutolo, Jason Claremont, Chris Brazel, and a long shot might even be a 5th, and Ryan Thelwell, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, they could get all 5 of them over 1,000 yards, and Geroy Simon be over 2,000 if he keeps it up.
This is 2nd and 10. Printers from the end zone. Gets out of trouble with Chris Brazel at the 20, and it'll be a first down. No, he couldn't hang on.
Saying he waving it off.
Brazel is trying to sell the catch. Can't believe they're waving it off.
Well, he looked like he came across. It was a tough throw for Printers because he was being pressured at the time. But he gets it over the middle. Brazel has first down territory. Printers has some pressure right there. He gets hit as he throws. Now, does he catch the football?
Oh, ho, ho.
You know, he didn't have control when the tip of that football touched the turf. It goes through his hand, doesn't have control now. It's frozen right there, and that touched the turf and bounced back up into his lap.
Awfully close, good sell job. Tried by Brazel, but they didn't go for it. McGarity is deep, O'Mani deep in his end zone, and he'll give up a couple. Smart play.
Yeah, really your only choice. McGarity would have taken that ball and caught it in field goal range. So you give up 2, you get the field position back. You still have to give up the football to the Calgary Stampeders, but now Wally Buono is going to make them drive the length of the field rather than only half the field.
And that is the final play of the opening quarter. The Stampeders closing to within 8.
At the quarter, brought to you by Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Calgary gets 2 from the safety. I can't believe you think Brazel caught that ball. What are you looking at? You a receiver.
You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he did a great job corralling that thing.
Ball. Give me a break. Now let's talk about the bad penalties, because this was the story in Calgary for the first 3 days after the Saskatchewan game. In fact, Matt Dunnigan said, we're going to find guys. And right away, it cost him a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, the Calgary's dead last in the league in terms of penalties that they've taken. And I just want to talk a bit about what you do as a coach if you want to put an end to that. Because first of all, penalties like that, it's a personality thing. Some people take those penalties and some people just don't. So you got a team that's great football players, but they take these kind of penalties. Consequences. There have to be. You can talk all day. Talk till you're blue in the face, Chris. Won't make a difference. Consequences. Fines. Benching.
Money.
Cutting. Take people's money, they'll stop doing it, I guarantee you.
You take people's money, believe me, they'll stop doing it right away. But for KC Printers and the BC Lions, they are going deep every single play, and you can see slowly but surely it's getting closer and closer. Watch there. Too much air underneath the football. It hangs up too much. The defensive back can break. Now watch Printers right here talking to himself. He's saying, God dang it, next time I have that opportunity, I'm going to throw it a little bit lower, and that's going to be a touchdown pass. Biggest thing about this young man is from game 1 to this game, he's improved each and every game. And maybe it's because he talks to himself, Dave.
And it's amazing, you know, after going 20 of 22 last week, he can get overly analytical of the guy. He looks almost human, and obviously everybody thinks he's struggling.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary, ready to begin the second quarter. I'm John Wells along with Glenn Suter. And the Stampeders are hanging in against the hottest team in Canadian football right now. Sanford returning after the safety. And the Stampeders, decent field position out across the 45 and about the 47.
Well, you know, the BC Lions, when you look at the stats and the numbers, have moved the football effectively with 7 first downs and 109 passing yards. You see the Calgary Stampeders are struggling on offense. Good news for Calgary is they're definitely still in this. They're very close in this game at just an 8-point deficit, and their defense is right now controlling, not stopping, but controlling KC Printers in some ways. And that's the good news, because Printers has been just going crazy.
There are the stats for Smirnoff Ice. Who knows where it'll go? First down, Calgary. Crandall, a little swing pass, and Ike is wrapped up. Split second after taking the catch. Leading the charge, Tyrone Williams. He'll lose 3 yards.
Tyrone Williams makes a couple of plays in a row. He is all over Victor Ike, and this time he's going to fly to the outside. Watch how 96 quickly reads those blocks, and that's what the defensive linemen in the interior are doing. If Jamie Crysdale flies out to that side that quickly, then he'll just go with them and go with the flow of the offense, and he's right there to make the play on Ike.
Lions have the Stampeders in second and long. And the heat's on Crandall. Target on the far side, it's Montana. Couple of big catches for Denny Montana.
Oh, that was a tough throw for Marcus Crandall. He got smacked from the backside, and Mark Washington on a halfback blitz coming off the edge was unblocked. And the time was running out on Crandall. He knew it. He had the open receiver in Denny Montana, but look at Washington. Here he comes. And he just got that off as he was hit from the backside on Washington, and Mook Tabenyo from the front side. That was a tough throw to complete out there to Montana.
A 19-yard gain. So the Stampeders are across midfield and into Lion territory. Four receivers to the near side. Crandall bobbled it momentarily, got it back, and has Connell. This is a guy that Dunnigan really wanted to see pick his game up a little bit. Albert Connell needed more effort, according to the head coach. He got open there.
Well, this is composure from Marcus Crandall, who drops the ball out of the gate, but continues along with the play. He doesn't panic, and as he's falling backwards, throws a strike to Connell, stuck with his route to the outside. 2 tough throws back-to-back for Marcus Crandall should give him some confidence.
26-yard pickup, and the Stampeders are knocking on the door. In scoring range with a first down at the 21. Crandall shotgun, charges on, got it away. Break the tackle. Lewis has the end Touchdown, Stampeders. Nick Lewis, their leading receiver, broke away from one tackle and headed for the end zone.
That was a cheeky little move by Nick Lewis. Two tacklers coming right at him, and he ducks them. Crandall makes his third tough throw in a row as he's falling back. Look, he's rolling away, buying himself some time. Now here comes his cheeky little move. Two tacklers. He ducks underneath both of them, and then just fights his way, will not be denied, and crosses that plane.
Fifth touchdown catch of the season for the rookie Nick Lewis. And the Stampeders have clawed their way back within a point of the front-running BC Lions. In the nick of time, Lewis makes a 22-yard touchdown run to end a 4-play, 64-yard drive, all passing. And the Stampeders get right back into the thick of this game, playing very well on that last drive in particular.
For a team that has struggled offensively this year, the Calgary Stampeders have a great story going in Nicholas Lewis.
Aaron Lockett, one of two deep for the Lions, and he takes this. Room along the sideline, and a marker is down. In fact, there are three all in a row. Here's a touchdown worth watching again. Lewis is spectacular here.
Well, if the Calgary Stampeders can rally around the effort of this rookie in Nick Lewis out of Southern Arkansas, who has 561 yards and 4 touchdowns coming in. I mean, that is just tremendous effort as he drags Mark Washington the extra 4 yards. You look at his numbers, Nick Lewis.
Holding, BC 19, first down.
Interesting. He split two defensive backs and then dragged Washington to the end zone.
He's on pace for 1,262 yards. CFL record for receiving in your rookie season is set by Matt Clark of the BC Lions back in 1991, who had 1,530. If he continues on that pace, Lewis would rank 5th all-time in the CFL for first-year receivers.
KC Printers has his favorite target, G-Roy Simon. Penalty flag down. Injured Stampeders slow to get up as well.
So you look at those numbers for Nick Lewis, and that's why he's become such a great story here in Calgary as a rookie receiver. 1,262 yards, the 9 touchdowns. Matt Clark set that at 1,530. That would put Nick Lewis 5th behind Rocket Ishmael at 1,300 yards. In 1991, he had Doug Flutie. And, you know, the bottom line for Nick Lewis is with a team that has had its problems at the quarterback position, he's having an outstanding rookie campaign.
Lewis coming into the game, 561 yards and 4 touchdowns. 22-yard touchdown, makes it 5 on the season. And those projections are interesting. The penalty is against the Lions on Catolo for pass interference, so BC looks at 1st and 20. Here's KC Printers, lost his footing. Now he escapes. And that's a couple of big hits that Printers has taken by not sliding to safety.
But the containment concern, and in this case, it's going to be Scott Coe, the linebacker, and on a 30 defense, it's often the linebacker that is the outside rush man. Scott Coe, 56, look how wide and how far and how hard he works to continue to work this way to make sure Printers can't get outside that pocket. Turns them back in with the help of Garrett Smith and then hustles back to the football.
So it's a nifty 10-yard gain for KC Printers, but he was looking at 1st and 20. 2nd and 10, Printers steps up. And he'll get the first down here. Brazel again. Out across the 35 to about the 37.
Here's the double-edged sword now that the Calgary defense is faced with. Because if you get wide, if you work out, if you close down and wall off the outside, where will Printers now escape? He escapes in the middle. Now that doesn't mean he's going to run every time. There's the lane because it's too wide to the outside. Escapes up the middle, almost becomes more dangerous, and finds Brazel for the first down.
14-yard gain for Brazel. Here are the Lions. First down at the 37. Nice play action fake by Printers, but he didn't fool everyone. White got through. That's George White, number 38. And he wraps up Casey Printers.
Okay, now the Calgary Stampeders resort to blitz now because they've seen when they can't contain them when they allow them to go up the middle. Now what they've done is they said, okay, we've got to send linebackers to go after them and try and contain them and stop them. They do that on this play. This is George White, the linebacker. They sent a full blitz. The downside of doing this for Calgary is that now G. Simon is in one-on-one along with that great talented receiving corps down the field.
Loss of 8. And again, the Lions look at 2nd and 18.
Because this chess game is going on right now, the Calgary Stampeders call a timeout to make sure in this key situation they have the right play called. Conventional thinking defensively in 2nd and this long would put you in a zone defense with a 3-man rush and have the quarterback try and throw it underneath. You rally, you make the tackle, they punt the football. That's conventional thinking, but when you play against Casey Printers, sometimes you have to throw all that conventional thinking out the window because he makes things happen all by himself.
So Printers looks at 2nd and 18. Dumps it, no one home. No one turned around. Lyle Green might have been the closest Lion to the ball.
You know, starting to get the feeling that with every series, the Calgary Stampeder defense does something special against Printers. They get a little bit more momentum. All of a sudden, I saw some guys flying around for Calgary there and celebrating. A few high fives out there on the field after a couple of big plays against a guy who's had his way with defenses all year.
McGarity is deep. 3rd down punting situation for the Lions as O'Mani stands back at his 15. This one isn't deep. McGarity and down. He's got midfield stopped at the 55. Around the league of late. Be interesting to see the reception they get in Winnipeg. Crandall stands in. He's been hot. Lewis makes another catch.
You know, Crandall looks like a different quarterback. You know, watching him in his first few starts under John Jenkins, and I understand, and I heard this from some of the guys in this Calgary organization, that his relationship with John Jenkins wasn't a great one. John Jenkins didn't give Marcus Crandall a whole lot of time and started looking the other way. One of the reasons that he's no longer on that sideline, the Calgary Stampeders.
Victor Ike, and you're talking about no longer on the sideline.
Well, John Jenkins was fired, yeah.
And then no longer on the sideline, Marcus Crandall, because he's back on the field.
Well, Tommy Jones is nicked too, but the bottom line is that when Crandall was trying to run the John Jenkins run and shoot, he wasn't comfortable, and early on, John Jenkins basically abandoned Marcus Crandall. And Crandall looks like a different quarterback, even though the Stamps have to punt now. He's looked like a different quarterback in this game than he did in the first few starts of the season.
Well, that last drive for the touchdown was very impressive. Hebert for Aaron Lockett. Lockett for BC inside the 10.
Oh, look at that.
And special teams coverage for the Stampeders has been solid as well. Stampeders have done a good job on special teams, pinning the Lions deep here as well. BC begins with a first down at the 12-yard line. And the run game not working well or effectively for the Lions so far. That's Eddie Linscomb, who had 16 carries for 136 yards in his last game and gets his 3rd start tonight. He ran into Brian Clark right there.
Brian Clark led the way on that special teams tackle too. Back to back for Clark.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Printers wrapped up. Dropped to the turf again. The Stampeders are fired up.
Sheldon Napusta comes right up the middle, working on Angus Reid, but he starts in one gap, ends up in another. When Sheldon Napusta starts here, he loops around and gets in here, and he causes all kinds of problems. Watch this power rush. Steps up, swim over the top, goes past the running back Lyle Green, gets some help from the opposite side from George White, and is right there. Casey Printers in the pocket is in trouble.
4th sack of the season for Napusta. And here are the Lions kicking from the end zone again. They gave up a safety a while back, and they'll offer the lead to the Stampeders here.
Yeah, you have to.
Calgary on top, 11-10, 2 safeties.
You have to. When you're that deep from the punt team, Danny Crehan's game plan was simple. Keep Printers in the pocket. So far, so good for the Stampeders defensively. Printers has made some plays, but not the amount of plays he's made against other teams this year. And his completion percentage is down.
68% on the season coming in, 70% for Printers as a starter. And we looked at it last week against Hamilton, 90% for Casey Printers. Well, he's nowhere near that.
38% in this game so far. I mean, that is nowhere near what Casey Printers has done against other teams this year, against every team this year he's played.
Interesting to note where the Stampeders gave the Lions that extra opportunity to get the touchdown and the 4 points that should have been the difference there. Well, the 2 safeties get the Stampeders back to even on that scorecard.
And here's some more bad news for the Lions.
Printers has...
He looks like he's favoring that right hand after that sack from Sheldon Napusta.
So the Stampeders have the lead, 11-10. Lucio Sanford deep for Calgary, and here he goes. A little room to the outside, and again Calgary with good field position. A 29-yard return after the 50-yard kickoff, so Calgary begins right around midfield.
Think of this too, the Calgary Stampeders with a bad penalty from William Fields gave the BC Lions 4 points, and an interception early on, a slight overthrow from Marcus Crandall to Jason Crum set up points for the Lions. This has been a very different game than the BC Lions have been used to over the last 4 weeks, and the Calgary Stampeders are battling right now against a very good football team.
Marcus Crandall good on 9 of 11 for 114 yards. The interception you mentioned, also the touchdown. And Victor Ike.
Boy, that looked like it had a chance, but it often looks like it has a chance until Barron Simpson fills the hole.
There's a penalty flag right along the line of scrimmage that actually landed out of bounds at the BC bench over there, but they've dragged it in and will check the infraction. Looks like the Stamps might have been a bit quick.
Victor Ike had a good lane there, and Simpson.
Offside. Calgary 86. First down repeated.
Barron Simpson parked his semi-truck right in the middle of that lane. And they had the penalty anyway, so that pushes them back to 1st and 15.
Another penalty against McGarity. Flags are down, and Ike took a little shovel pass there, barely got back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he did not. Brent Johnson was there and wrapped him up.
Well, the Calgary offensive line here, you see Mook Tabeno on the outside.
Calgary number 50. Penalties decline, second down.
Calgary offensive line on this play are going to try and cut. Jeff Pilon are going to try and go down there and cut Tabeno. And when he can't cut him, he jumps up and gets involved in that play, and then there's a holding call to boot. So Wally Bono wisely declines that one rather than give them first down over again, second in a whole bunch. Casey Printers trying to get that hand right because he may get the ball back soon.
It is 2nd and 17. Stampeders back to their own 45 all of a sudden. Play action fake. Crandall has a target and overthrew him. And a penalty flag goes down. Not a catchable football, and the coverage right in the back of Denny Montana as he was pushed out of bounds, draws a penalty.
It's not going to be a pass interference or contact penalty, John, though, because you mentioned it was overthrown and not catchable. It's going to be unnecessary roughness.
Absolutely.
Because there's
no reason to hit him.
Yeah, there was no need for Deshaun Austin to lower the boom on Montana.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, BC 24, first down.
Well, that equalizes to a point the penalty that the Stampeders took foolishly early in the game.
Well, there you go. And the ball again is overthrown, not catchable, so the interference is not there. And Deshaun Austin hit Denny Montana in the middle of the back well after the fact. I mean, that ball
he was out
close.
of bounds, too. Deshaun Austin, a former Stampeder.
That's a major foul and automatic first down on second and a bunch. You're right. It equalizes the William Fields in a lot of ways. If Calgary can score it, it equalizes it in a big way.
If Calgary does keep this drive going, Victor Ike. And not much for Ike there again.
Otis Floyd made that play, and I mentioned Otis Floyd's name earlier. Otis Floyd was a Calgary Stampeder, and Matt Dunnigan and Ron Rook made a pitch for Otis Floyd. In fact, they offered Otis Floyd more money than the BC Lions did. He elected to take less and go with his old coach, Wally Buono. But they did go after him, and that was really the only free agent this year that the Calgary Stampeders wanted back and didn't get back.
4:47 till halftime. Critical 2nd and 8 situation here for Calgary. And a procedure call will go against the Stampeders.
Calgary number 1, still second down.
So it'll be second down, but
you know, that penalty is always assessed against the quarterback, but sometimes the quarterback just doesn't get the play in time. I mean, they come from the bench, then he has to check the wristband, and that's a way that you can get around the spine. Rather than signal in, you signal a number, and there's the number corresponding to the play on your wristband.
Well, then you can change the numbers up.
That way, Spygate can't hurt you.
Crandall has to unload in a hurry, and there was nobody anywhere around. Connell was the closest receiver, but he was about 20 yards away. I suppose then teams would look to satellites so that they could look down and read the numbers on the quarterback's wrist that correspond with the plays that are being signaled in.
Well, we've had some fun with this, and a lot of people will, but it was in the papers all across the country again, and you know, it's wrong, and it's not necessary to be videotaping someone else's signals. That's the bottom line.
Well, and the Chargers are against the Alouettes, as everyone has heard, and it doesn't look good for the organization at all.
No, and let's just hope that the league comes down strong and changes it in a hurry.
This rolls right through the end zone, and it's a 72-yard single. 12-10 count.
Oh, if these walls could.
Olympic coverage on TSN. Well, Jose making the stop on G. Simon.
How do the BC Lions go back to getting back on track? They go back to what I think and what my vote would be in the poll on the #1 combination in football right now, Casey Printers to G. Simon.
Well, it's hard to argue. G. Simon is over 1,000 yards. 4 touchdowns last week. On pace for a bunch, as you've pointed out. And more like it for Printers. He had his target. Claremont dropped it.
G. Simon coming into this game after 8 starts, 974 yards. He's over 1,000 now and 10 touchdowns. You project that over 18 games. 2192. With 23 touchdowns. There's the CFL record set by Alan Pitts in '94, 2,036. And Stiegel has the touchdown record at 23. Simon at this pace would tie that.
Second down. And across midfield, it's Simon says, one more time, I've got the ball.
Yeah, and he says he wasn't down, too.
Number 81, G. Simon.
Now, the only problem with your projections there, when you look at it, there are several gifted receivers in this Lion lineup will all be fighting for that football the rest of the way this season. Stampeders have the lead. It's 12-10. Calgary has been close in games on a couple of occasions and watched those leads melt away so far in 2004, but the surge against KC Printers continues, and that time it was led by Brian Clark, who's been mentioned several times tonight. He's having a whale of a game for Calgary.
Problem for the play for KC Printers was what the shotgun snap popped up high, so he had to take his eyes off the hot routes. And when it came up high and the blitz was coming, watch the snap and how Printers right in the middle of your screen. He's going to have to juggle it. He has to look at the football. Now he gets his eyes back downfield. It's too late.
Loss of 6. Just when the Stampeders came, they'll come again. Printers got it away, and he'll have a first down on a wide open target. Geroy Simon found the space. He's down to the 40.
Lots and lots of steamboats for Printers in the pocket. I mean, he had all kinds of time. Geroy Simon came from the wide side of the field all the way into the middle. Here's Simon. Look at him way out there on the numbers, right there in your screen. He's out there on the numbers. Now he's going to work down. Now he should see the ball there. No, Printers has more time. Got more time, got more time. Keep coming. There you go.
Simon 5 for 108, his longest 40 yards. Linscomb for a couple. No touchdowns for Geroy Simon so far tonight. And he scored them every which way in a 4-touchdown performance against the Tiger Cats last week.
Well, I worked out that if Geroy Simon gets 106.3 yards per game for the rest of the way, he will beat the record set by Alan Pitts in '94. And you just saw he's on that pace right now, tonight. He's only played a half. Might get 2 games worth tonight before it's over.
Less than 2 minutes till halftime. 3 receivers for Printers to the near side. Claremont made the catch, met immediately.
Geroy Simon versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
This was beautiful. This was a thing of beauty.
He did it in almost everywhere you can. Crossing routes, deep routes down the seam.
Catch and a run for a touchdown, too. That was open in the end zone, and here's the catch and a great play after that to find the end zone.
Nice little move in the open field. Geroy Simon, I think you can say, is the best receiver in the Canadian Football League right now.
Every which way but caught last week. They couldn't bring him down.
And there's a lot of good receivers this year, boy.
McGarity is deep and actually standing in his own end zone. O'Mani tries to pin the Stampeders deep, and it rolls into the end zone for a single point. Next home game for the Lions against the Argonauts on August the 27th. There's the number to call for ticket information. Crowds all across the league have been up in key centers this season in Hamilton and in Toronto.
We'll be there for that one, and then go and watch you get your money's worth watching 81-1 for a game. I mean, that we've already seen in a half. I mean, this is a good football game. Calgary's playing very well, and still KC Printers and Simon are putting on a show. That's worth the price of admission in itself.
I mentioned the resurgence in 2 centers this year. The resurgence in British Columbia actually began last year with more fans coming out. So Crandall with all kinds of time. He has his 81. Lucio Sanford for a 7-yard gain. He was more on special teams this season so far. In fact, Nicholas Lewis, who has the touchdown, is not listed as a starter for the Stampeders. Kind of draws in there and plays an awful lot to get the numbers that he has, but he's the 5th receiver in their package. But he has 5 touchdowns on the year, including 1 tonight. And this is Lewis. Nick Lewis with a spectacular touchdown in the opening quarter.
And right now, Marcus Crandall is showing great patience and more comfort in the pocket than he's had all year. And when you see that one, that took some time to develop, but he waited just long enough for Nick Lewis to pop out there on the other side of that formation, dump the ball off, knew when to take some off the throw, and dropped it right into Nick Lewis's hands, and then let the athlete make the play. And that's pretty good completion percentage. We haven't seen that out of Marcus Crandall this year.
Shotgun for Crandall. Wide open receiver. It's McGarity with speed. Lewis had 16 on the previous play. McGarity has even more. He'll have an 18-yard pickup. So this is another impressive drive being engineered by Marcus Crandall.
Yeah, look at Marcus Crandall roll with confidence, throw all the way back with a man in his face, and hit Wayne McGarity in stride going the opposite direction. Boy, if the Calgary Stampeders can come up with a major in 47 seconds, what a lift going in at halftime that would be for this football team against the BC Lions, who have dominated in their last 4.
Montana, one of 2 receivers to the near side on first down. Crandall goes under the cover. It's McGarity in open field. He's down inside the 20. They said they wanted to find McGarity more. Just 3 catches in his last 2 games, and he's got 2 on this drive.
How many times have we heard coaches say, and Wally Buono's been one of the #1 coaches to say, all quarterbacks really have to do is distribute the football. They don't have to win it on every throw. They don't have to go down the field on every. Distribute the football. Right now, Marcus Crandall's doing that. Dropping it off to Nick Lewis. Dropping it off to Wayne McGarity.
Another 14-yard gain for the Stampeders. 20 seconds on the clock. And Crandall is hammered to the turf. Otis Floyd charging through.
Victor Ike gets a minus and almost gets his quarterback killed. Because Otis Floyd, Victor Ike right here. Now his job is to read inside and then out. If pressure comes on the inside, you take it. If it's not there, move outside. He steps outside, whoa, pressure's coming inside. And Crandall avoids the training room.
7 seconds till halftime. Crandall has to hurry to get a play in here. He may not get another opportunity. This is second down. And they throw under the cover. Zeros on the clock and blew the opportunity to get points there.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, there was time for a quick play, wasn't there?
Poor clock management.
It was poor clock management because they chose the wrong play to try. They were in range for 3.
Well, okay, so
that's the second time.
Well, okay, so that wasn't pretty. But hands up, those of you who thought this game was going to be a little out of hand for the BC Lions by the half. And here they are. Calgary Stampeders are playing pretty well. Their defense is going after Printers. Really, the only success they're having is going to G. Roy Simon. And remember, the touchdown the Lions got was a gift because of a stupid penalty by Calgary. So we could have a game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about Nick Lewis. This guy's looked great.
Let me tell you, every now and again you see someone that gets you excited and gets you pumped up about the CFL. This is a young guy that I want to talk about. Look, this is a play he made last week, and he made this play, and I thought, hey, this is something special here. But let's see if he can do it again. And then this week, he does do it again. This was a 1st and 20 play. He got the first down here. Breaking tackles. He's one of these guys who's obviously gifted at breaking tackles. This is a guy from the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders, folks, Division II. He had 1,030 yards, 1,200 yards in his last couple seasons. You know, he had about 800 yards more than the next leading receiver on his team with the Mule Riders. The Mule Riders. Don't you love that? I love that. Obviously a special kind of athlete, Chris, and I'm looking forward to watching him in the games to come.
The Mule Riders. That's a great name for a football team. Hey, one of the issues with the BC Lions, they do not have Antonio Warren as their top running back. No problem in terms of running or in terms of catching the ball, but Eddie Linscomb has got to learn how to pass block effectively. He's number 28 right there in the screen. He's going to have 2 quick decisions he has to make. This all happens fast. first, the center gets beat if she gives him the form. But what he has to understand is that defensive back, Jeremy Porrell, is in full speed. Linscomb has to cut his legs out from with under him, because when you got a guy going at full speed, you don't have much of a choice. You can't upper body block him. You got to take those legs out, and then he falls on the feet of Printers, and everything will be okay. They miss Antonio Warren blocking.
Best blocking back in the league?
Oh, well, Chris Zarka, we've heard. Well, Julian Radlin.
Julian
Radlin, and Chris Zarka.
And Zarka. So an East-West thing. Okay, I won't make you choose between
East-West,
them.
thank you.
I'll let you have the East. For the news, the Toronto Argonauts have signed this guy. That's Andre Rison. They're going to add him to the practice roster. He's 37 years old now, spent 13 seasons in the NFL. Went to 5 Pro Bowls, went to the Super Bowl with Green Bay in '97. Hasn't played football in 2000. And we all know about what Andre Rison could do on the field. He made headlines on it, but unfortunately also made headlines off of it. And the news on him right now is that a judge in Georgia has ordered his arrest. Apparently he's failed to pay over $100,000 in child support payments. Same thing in Michigan for a different woman, almost $90,000 in child support
I hope
payments.
he hasn't come here looking for that kind of money.
Well, so the question that, I mean, that's unfortunate baggage to lug around, but he's got it. So what do you think of this signing here?
Well, yeah, first of all, I don't care if the guy's here because he needs to make money to pay those judges' orders, or if he's just bored sitting at home. He is a talented football player. My biggest concern is he hasn't played in 4 years. So is he in shape? Is he ready to play football? But any kind of guy with that kind of talent is welcome in this league, and welcome to the Argos, who need some help at receiver.
Disagree 110%. I think Andre Rison is a talent, and everyone's looking for Ed Hervey, but the strength of the Toronto Argonauts right now is everyone gets along. Everyone knows their roles, they complement their roles, and they pull together, evident by the way Michael Bishop played with the influence of Kent Austin. Do you want a top receiver, or do you want someone who could be a disruption and roll the dice? I don't think you roll the dice right now with the Toronto Argonauts.
Totally agree with what you're saying. And we've had Argonauts in this studio throughout the season. I've been talking about the great chemistry they have there. But in Pinball's defense, he has apparently talked to Rison about this and the importance of being a leader. We'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. But good points nonetheless. Here's Nick Lewis, one of the touchdowns, or the touchdown for Calgary. They got themselves the lead. Joe Pow and the Lions taking on the Calgary Stampeders just like tonight. Picking up in the second half, Damon Allen rolls out and finds Mike Trevathan for the 10-yard major. BC led by 9, but cue the Stamps comeback. Jeff Garcia can't find anybody open, so he takes off by himself and bowls his way in from 10 yards out. Calgary trails 21-20. Dying seconds of the game, Mark McLaughlin in for the chip shot. Stamps down by 1. He makes the game winner, and Calgary wins it 23-21. And here are the numbers in 2004 between the same two teams, brought to you by Molson Canadian. I am Canadian.
Well, Dave, whoever thinks football statistics are a true indicator of football success, look at this. No rushing yards and the only turnover of the game, but the Calgary Stampeders up by 2. Or
1.
Oh, you're right, or 1.
That's okay. 12-11. Matt Dunnigan's happy to have the lead, and he spoke with Jermaine Franklin after the half.
Coach Dunnigan, you guys had a great half, but disappointed in the way it ended?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. What a time to catch me on camera. This ought to be good. Yeah, just, you're trying to, you can't, I wish they had a helmet microphone or something, He's trying to get his attention, he's got to be aware of that situation. Now it's tough. But, yeah, guys are playing hard, flying around, and, we're in this football game, that's for sure.
Besides the last play, Marcus did play very well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's making throws. He looks comfortable out there. He's seeing things really well. And, but he can't bring that one back. Took points off the board there, and that's tough against a good team like BC.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Jermaine.
They're honoring 2 Stampeder greats tonight as well in the Builders category right there. Former team presidents Dan Schwartz and Rogers Lehue being honored tonight at McMahon.
Dramatic change in the weather since we last joined you here at McMahon Stadium. A little rainy out there now. Let's go down and join Jermaine.
Coach Bono, not many people thought it would be a game as close as it is. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, we thought it was going to be a good game. They're good on defense, and obviously we're not doing a very good job of picking up their pressure, which is hurting our offense.
What is it that makes this team unable to score? Because you're definitely moving the ball.
Well, it's right now we're not giving the quarterback enough time to get into a rhythm. They're getting us with their loops and their stunts, and we got to do a better job of that. If we do in the second half, then hopefully we can move the ball better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Plans are fortunate not to be down a little bit more because the Stampeders missed an opportunity.
Yeah, poor clock management from Marcus Crandall. Matt Dunnigan, with about 13 seconds before halftime, was trying to get Marcus Crandall's attention and tell him that the time is running out. Manage the clock so we can get the field goal team. And watch how he starts yelling, Marcus, Marcus, look at the clock, Marcus. And he can't get his attention. The time runs out. They can't find the end zone and lose an opportunity for 3 points. Had they been efficient, they might have got 2 plays in, 1 for the end zone and then the field goal team.
Yeah, and it was a missed opportunity, and definitely there was a chance to have 3 more points beside the Stampeders' name on the scoreboard here to make it 15-11 instead of 12-11. Here's Sanford to get the second half underway and wrapped up quickly at the 30-yard line by a hard-charging BC special teams unit. Quarterbacks.
Well, what's the good news for Calgary fans here is that 9 of 18 for Casey Printers is 50%, well below his season completion percentage average. Marcus Crandall, on the other hand, is having the game of his season. So far in the first half, he's played better this year than he has all year.
BC 54.
That was offside on the kickoff, way back.
Now, what Matt Dunnigan will do here is to force the Lions to kick it over again from their own 30. Now, you make that cover team run the 65 yards one more time after trying to get back there and catch their breath, and that's how hopefully you can break one, get some good field position.
And there wasn't much of a return on the previous one, so you've got nothing to lose by setting up and trying to get a little more yardage and better field position with the return, which should help automatically with the Lions kicking from back at the 30.
Now, with this weather changing the way it has, protecting the football after you have it in your hands and covering it up is going to be very important for both teams. Because it's artificial surface, the footing is not necessarily the concern, but just once that ball gets a little bit wet, you don't want to have that big turnover to make the difference in the game.
2 nights in Alberta in August. Last night, the torrential rain in Edmonton. We may see snow before we're finished here in Calgary tonight. And it's somewhere in August. Stampeders already have better field position on the return out across the 40 to the 42.
Marcus Crandall, I mentioned, having his best game so far of the year. And one of the reasons for that is the play of Nicholas Lewis, the rookie. Mentioned early in the first half, he's projection and on pace for over 1,200 yards receiving this year, which would rank him 5th all-time in the CFL. He can continue on that pace. He has the Calgary touchdown. One of the reasons he's given Marcus Crandall, his quarterback, some confidence.
There are the Stampeders with a first down at the 41 to begin the second half. Crandall has Ike. Ike makes a move. And he's across the 45 to about the 46, and it looked like he should have been wrapped up long before that. But he proved to be a little slippery down there.
Dante Booker of BC. Second down and 5.
Hey, Schultze.
5-yard gain.
Are you shrinking? Getting a big hump on it.
It looks like a 4-yard gain now when they set it up. This will be 2nd and 6. Our window's fogging up just a little bit here. It's Ike again. Breaks another tackle. He'll get the first down.
Here's the difference for Marcus Crandall in this game. It's just throwing those underneath passes, throwing the crossing routes to Nicholas Lewis or to Wayne McGarity coming across the middle, and just dumping the football off and taking what the defense gives him rather than having to try and make the play and make a double read and all the things that the John Jenkins offense was forcing the quarterbacks in Calgary to make. They don't have to make now. They can even cut the field in half if they want. Just take a look at one side of the field and then dump the ball off. Take what the defense gives them.
7-yard gain there. Ike spinning and nothing doing this time.
Number 6, Victor Ike gets the carry.
The rushing yards have been a problem for the Calgary Stampeders when you look back to last week. Just 9 yards on 5 carries against Saskatchewan.
I would suggest you cannot run the football unless you can control defensive line play better than that. Dante Booker walks into the backfield and is right there to take on Victor Ike. And if the offensive line can't control the front four better than that, you can't run the ball.
-4 for Victor Ike running. A couple of catches for 40 yards, however. This is 2nd down. And into coverage on the far side. Albert Connell was the intended receiver, and the Stampeders look to kick it away.
Albert Connell had a chance at that football. In this kind of weather condition, it was a tough catch to make. You can see even the rain in his face is making it difficult to see. But this is a tough throw. Marcus Crandall's rolled to the right side and throwing all the way back from the middle of the field. That's almost a 55-yard throw to get it over there, and Albert Connell had both hands on it.
Talked about Dunnigan wanting more effort from Albert Connell. Lockett is deep. Chase back to the 10. Good return. Took a hit, though, at the 25. He's up.
Mark Mitchell.
Lions 1st and 10 beginning at the 25. Stampeders have forced the Lions into tough field position at times. Linscomb. Good run. Off tackle right across the 30.
BC Lions have the 1 touchdown, but it came off the turnover, and you see the possessions, touchdown, field goal. That was early, then 3 punts. And Casey Printers this year really hasn't asked much of the punt team. He just keeps moving the football down the field. He's had his problems tonight at times.
And O'Mani has been a busier boy. 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard gain by Linscomb. Printers has an open target, and he's got him. Ryan Thelwell. Huge gain into Stampeder territory across the 55 to about the 53.
Obviously, the one thing that the Lions, Steve Barato, and the coaching staff are going to do is start to move Printers a little bit in the pocket. It's subtle here. He just backs out, and when he backs out to the left, and it just moves the pocket slightly one side or the other and gives him some more throwing lanes. And Thelwell right on the sideline picks up that pinpoint pass.
First catch for Ryan Thelwell. In this one tonight, shotgun. Printers got it away, hurry. And Claremont. That's a couple that Jason Claremont has put on the turf, and that was right there.
Yeah, he looks a little anxious in this game for some reason. Both those crossing routes have been the same place, and Claremont, who's off to a great start and has 533 yards at the halfway point. He's dropped a couple like that. He looks like he's turning too quickly. Looked like he's trying to get upfield and make things happen before he catches the football. You can see how upset he is with himself. His hand's a good slap. So come on, let's go.
Come on, hands, catch that ball for me. 2nd and 10 Lions. Printers chased out of the pocket. Throwing, complete. He's got Catolo. Frank Catolo is inside the 20. And that's his first catch.
You might be able to control this guy at times, but he's just too gifted athletically to completely stop him. We talked about the wide containment concern for the Calgary Stampeders and how that may open up some inside lanes. You can see how George White gets wide, concerned of him escaping out to the outside. He steps up in the middle and makes a tough throw across his body to Catolo.
Catolo picks up 36 here. And the Lions are set up just outside the 15, first down. Printers got some pressure, got it away. And the Stampeders are waiting.
Now the Stampeders in this game have done a nice job when they've backed up into their own end, providing some pressures on Printers and causing him some problems. That's why you saw the field goal, and they've struggled a little bit getting the ball across that goal line.
Geroy Simon with the catch there, and he's down to the 11. So halfway to a first down.
Remember, the one touchdown they scored was off that penalty from William Fields. They were stopped on that one as well.
And after the interception, they settled for the field goal.
Right.
2nd and 5. Sprinters looks to the end zone. He's got the touchdown. Frank Cutolo, a couple of catches on the drive and into the end zone with that one.
Printers makes a play with his eyes. He looks at Lyle Green out to the right flat the entire way, influence the defense. Watch this. Printers going to look in this direction and throw it in this direction. With his eyes, he influences the defense. Watch. Looks out to the right now. Here he goes to the right. I'm looking to Green. I'm coming right over the middle with a dart to Cutolo.
Lions in the lead. Cutolo's 6th touchdown catch of the year. And BC is back on. More like it for Casey Printers. 4 of 5, 78 yards on that drive. 6 plays to cover 85 yards. And Cutolo has the touchdown catch.
Only one guy that really could help this play out from the Calgary Stampeders' point of view was Wes Lysek. And watch what Geroy Simon's going to do without the football. Simon's going to influence the safety, Lysek, who's at the left of your screen. He can't jump Cutolo. Watch him. There he is, 31. See how late he is coming up? Because he's waiting on Geroy Simon.
Kickoff after the touchdown goes out. It'll be a procedure call against the Lions. So that's back-to-back kicks that the Lions will be forced to retry. If in fact that's what the Stampeders want here, unless they just want to take the ball at the 45, and that's what they'll do.
Casey Printers got right back on track. He didn't have his best first half, his best half of football with the BC Lions this season, but you got to give credit to the Calgary defense, and he got back on track with one drive. And how did he do it? He started out by using his legs.
That's how he set up the first pass.
Throwing on the run.
As mentioned, 4 of 5 for 78 yards. Crandall will try and respond here. One hop that one to Connell.
And this is an important drive, and this is a tough situation right now for Marcus Crandall because he one hops that one to Connell. Now he's in 2nd and long on a drive that he really needs to match. I felt that coming out this second half, the first half of the 3rd quarter was very important for the Calgary Stampeders. They've been close in a lot of games this year.
We've seen it before several times, haven't we?
They had the BC Lions. They had some momentum going in at halftime. But this is a very important part of the game for them. They can't let it slip away right now and let the Lions take all kinds of momentum.
They stayed close to the Alouettes until halftime. Out pattern. McGarity makes the move. And that'll be a first down.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne McGarity. This was nice.
This is why they want to get him the ball a little bit more, because Wayne McGarity catches us about 5 yards short of a first down. But watch this move in the open field. You can't coach this. You can't draw it up. You just let the athletes do that. Oh, baby. That's Deshaun Austin over there going, okay, now where was my jock?
Yeah,
where was my pants? What did I do with my shoe? I've left it all on the 50-yard line.
Left looking for his under things there by Wayne McGarity as the Stampeders are set up at the 55. Crandall. Complete over there to Montana with a penalty flag down in the BC secondary.
McGarity was the intended receiver. I think he got knocked down. Montana became the secondary route, and Marcus Crandall had enough time in that pocket to go to Danny Montana. But it looked to me like McGarity was knocked down. We'll see what the call is here. They'd likely take the play anyway. It's a nice gain for Calgary.
Well, it looked to me like the
illegal contact
marker
on
was
receiver.
Away from.
BC 24.
Yeah,
penalties
that was
declined. First down.
Away from the catch.
That was Deshaun Austin on Wayne McGarity who knocked him down. It was basically 2 levels here. And watch McGarity. We have a great look of it for you. Here's the illegal contact. Down goes McGarity.
And up goes Montana for the catch.
He's the secondary on that one, and he comes up with it because Marcus Crandall has time.
13-yard gain. Stampeders moving again. Crandall fake once. McGarity slanting in.
Oh, Deshaun Austin, he makes a touchdown saving tackle. I mean, this one is designed. We saw this play earlier, a little swing pass to Wayne McGarity. This time it's a pump fake on the swing pass, and then try to hit McGarity coming across the middle in a slant pattern type of formation. Now, if Deshaun Austin misses that one, boy, he streaks down that middle, and he may have a lane. Look at how this lane opens up. If he can streak just past, as you can see the momentum of Barron Simpson going the opposite way.
2nd and 4 for Crandall here. Throwing on the run, got a little anxious. Had Ike open.
Yeah, he threw it away.
I thought he had Ike open, didn't he?
Well, he got to the outside, and I think he had decided to just let that one go. He could feel the pressure coming from behind him, and then, you're right, Victor Ike opened at the end of the play. But a successful series for the Calgary Stampeders, even if they get this field goal, because they answer the BC Lions. You could see how Victor Ike did open up at the end of that. And then Crandall realized, I made that decision a little too early.
Charlie Hebert good on 16 of 22. Longest 40 yards. This will be from 43. And he's got it. The longest of his CFL career. The Stamps creep a little closer. Sheldon DePastic has a sack for the Stampeders, and a nice one in this game tonight. Saskatchewan leading the parade, Montreal and Toronto closing in. DePastic with 4 on the season. For every sack in the game, Purelator contributes the quarterback's weight in food to a local food bank. Purelator, Canada's biggest courier company.
Well, if the Calgary Stampeders want to pull this one out against KC Printers, they're going to have to add to that 23 total. They can make it 26. They got a shot tonight.
Aaron Lockett lost it. Had to get it back. Maybe lucky to do so when you look at that. He's at the 25, and again, Stampeders pin the Lions deep.
We talked about the conditions changing at halftime here, and the ball gets slick. Lockett took his eyes off, and then he had all kinds of problems. Joey Bose right there almost gets there in time to recover that one. Now, can the Calgary Stampeders fight back after a real good drive from KC Printers?
They've done a good job with Printers in another aspect of the game tonight with 3 sacks on the BC quarterback. But the last drive by Printers was impressive. Starts out here with a strike and a nice run afterwards. It's Geroy Simon again.
Boy, this play, every team has this play, and it's a play designed to get your talented receiver, whether it be Wayne McGarity, whether it be Terry Vaughn in Edmonton, just get him the football. But I don't think anyone runs it quite as well as Geroy Simon does. I don't know how. Well, I know how. He's got great speed. That's how. He just can outrun the angles of the linebackers and defensive secondary for the Stampeders.
Technically, that was a run. It was a lateral pass. And they flag that one down with penalty markers. Simon has a pass option off that, too, which we've seen a couple of times.
Yeah,
he's thrown a couple of touchdowns in his day.
He's thrown the football from that exact play.
Illegal procedure. BC 99. Still first down.
But, you know, that's a play, that little swing pass to Geroy Simon is, you know, I think offensive coordinators would take a 6, 7 yard gain out of that play and be pretty happy. And Geroy Simon, game in and game out, turns that little swing pass behind the line of scrimmage. He turns that thing into about a 20-yard gain or more on a regular basis.
99 is David Heisman in at a tight end. And that was the penalty. Almost got to Printers again and forced the early throw.
Talked to Mike Roach, a defensive coordinator of the Stampeders before this game, about chasing Printers down. And if you're going to come with pressure, he said, I'd rather come with pressure and flush him to his left. Most of the quarterbacks that are right-handed feel more comfortable if they're running to their right, and throwing on the run to the right. So if we're going to have him run, we want to keep him in the pocket. But if we're going to have him run, we want him to run to his left like they made him do on that last play.
5:02 to go, third quarter. Lions lead the Stampeders by 3. 2nd and 15 for Printers and the Lions. Looking deep, the coverage is tight. It's picked out. Wes Lysak has the interception. Stampeders will take over at the 50. They forced Printers into tossing the interception. The Stamps are still alive. Stampeders have picked off 15 this year. This is another turnover, and Crandall goes right to work. Nick Lewis was the intended receiver. Lysak has his 3rd interception of the season.
Lysak will just drop in, read the eyes of KC Printers, and again, Printers dropping back. We haven't seen a lot of this from KC Printers this year. He gets pressure again, and that pressure causes him to throw the ball when he's not quite ready to throw it. Lysak reads his eyes and goes right to that football.
Played it like Willie Mays back there in center field, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Second and 10, Stampeders. Heats on Crandall. He escapes, had a target, no catch. Lewis had to turn around behind himself, and Crum was covering.
BC Lions defense just come up with a big one. That's what you call the sudden change, and it can be a real momentum shift for the team who picks up the turtle. Wes Lysak with the interception grabs that momentum, and if the offense goes right down and scores in that one play to Nick Lewis down the sideline, that's a huge momentum shift. The BC defense responded in a big way.
Hebert hammers this one down to about the 15. It's Aaron Lockett. And penalty markers again. Down to the 35. Lots of tennis action from Athens tomorrow on TSN's Olympic coverage of the 2004 Summer Olympic Games. And in the background, that is not Greece, that is Alberta. With the wind blowing and the rain falling, and
yeah, I need to correct myself. I mentioned that I had a conversation with Mike Roach, the defensive coordinator. Well, Denny Crean is the defensive coordinator, of course. Mike Roach works with the secondary. I did talk to Roach about what was going on back there. Crean, I want to make sure that his job title, I didn't go by pass the job title on to somebody else. Denny Crean is the
before the kick, holding BC on the return. Repeat the down, third down.
He is the architect of this 34 defense that they've installed in Calgary that has created 31 takeaways coming in and is holding a very powerful offensive team, the BC Lions, to 18 points after almost 3 quarters of play.
Getting a little excited as I stand between two safeties here in the booth tonight with Daryl Moyer, ex of the Calgary Stampeders, to my left. Spotting tonight, Suter to my right, and Lysak makes the interception on one play. Good Canadian kid there.
Yeah.
And Jason Crum on the very next play. Good Canadian kid there, too.
Well, you make a mistake and you're going to get hit up here, I'm telling you right now.
Out across the 35 to about the 39-yard line. Good return for Lockett there, and Lockett upset that he didn't take it a few more yards. He didn't miss. There's another opening by much.
There's a picture we haven't seen of KC Printers trying to get himself organized. Usually he comes out, the jersey is nice and clean. He hasn't been touched. He's been throwing touchdown strikes. Now he's trying to tuck in, get his equipment right. Got to give the Calgary defense some credit for that. Now, he's had his moments, and he's had a couple of good drives. That's why BC's up right now in this game. But 18 points is not a lot from this offense.
Yeah, and he knows he's been in a game here tonight. He's been sacked 3 times. Injury timeout. We'll be back. Ready for a first down for the Lions. 3:07 left in the third quarter. Good play action fake by Printers. And Claremont takes the hit.
Brian Clark comes across and just earholes Jason Claremont. Wes Lysak steps up and turns Claremont back to his friends. Watch this hit. There's Lysak, and then pow. That's the earhole job right there.
Clark's had a great game.
Look, and over there, Claremont had to fix the gear. He's just now getting everything all straightened out. Wait a minute. There's my ear pads all in there. I got my chin strap on. Okay, we're good to go.
Oh, Printers escapes, looks deep. Brazel is the target. He laid out and almost made a spectacular catch. That would have been something, wouldn't it?
Brazel may be hurt. He dove for that one. That ball, it's amazing what KC Printers can do with this football. I mean, that ball is right on the money. Hits Chris Brazel, who had to dive for it. I mean, it was a tough catch to be made. Then he came down hard and was landed on. But Printers was running full speed to get this one out of there. Should have been sacked. I don't know how he avoided the first hit. He's had Brazel a couple of times and just missed him. I mean, we're talking about a game of inches. He's missed Brazel 3 or 4 deep balls by a couple of inches.
Inclement weather can be a great equalizer. And you can guess which team was hoping for the weather to be a little on the difficult side as we walked around the field before game time tonight.
Well, and so can a fired up defense.
Absolutely, but what it does is it takes away a little bit from the star performers at times. And the BC Lions are a team full of stars. The Calgary Stampeders are still emerging. And so the Stampeders would be a little happier to see the wind blow in and the rain come down in this one tonight and get a little bit closer to equal with the BC Lions, who are running away with first in the West, and the Stampeders sitting in dead last. Chris Brazel being helped off by the Lions medical staff. Almost made the spectacular catch to continue this BC drive. Instead, it's third down. And Nick Lewis is in to return for the Calgary Stampeders with O'Mani standing back at his 30.
Third down, BC Lions. Nick Lewis, number 82, is BC Calgary.
Lewis up at the 25. Well covered by the Lions on special teams. That's Kelly Lockbaum limiting the return to 6 yards.
Of course, Matt Dunnigan will be talking and has talked to Marcus Crandall every time he's come to the sideline, help him manage this football game. The game is on the line now, and every throw becomes that much more important. The pressure mounts a little bit more with every single throw. One mistake down in this end of the field can turn the game around in a hurry, but you can't become too cautious. Play to win a game, not play not to lose it.
This isn't hockey. You don't play for the tie. Montana, one of the receivers to the near side, and Victor Ike. Excellent run by Victor Ike, his longest on the evening. At a point, he was at -4 yards.
Well, the difference in this run is that he's allowed to get to at least the line of scrimmage before he sees a defender from the BC Lions. And in the first half, he was having problems with that because the offensive line for Calgary was having problems controlling the defensive front. So if he can get a little penetration into that linebacking core, he can have some success running the ball.
Stampeders still pass more than they run for obvious reasons. Ike again, and that's exactly what didn't happen on the previous play. They grabbed him in the backfield.
Dante Booker, Otis Floyd is there for the tackle. Dante Booker gets the push. And if you reestablish the line of scrimmage, you're going to see a running back that gets stuck right here. He gets caught in behind and doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage before the penetration is right there in front of him, because number 92, Dante Booker, gets such a good push along with Carl Kidd to allow Otis Floyd to slide over to get the tackle. Running plays, those offensive line, they love them because they can drive off. They weren't driving off, they were being driven.
31 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Lockett for the Lions, stutter step, good move. Turns it into a 10-yard return. He's out at the 35, and that's where the Lions begin. Bonaventure leading the tacklers for the Stampeders, and the player of the game coming your way. Brought to you by Rogers, your world now. Use text messaging, type in GO CFL, and type in the first letter of the team, city, and the player's number to cast your votes by text messaging.
BC 33, first down.
Like 81?
Like 81, you can like 81 many times a season.
Well, usually it's between Printers or Simon. You have to make a decision.
When you see these two guys playing.
Because is it the guy who throws for 360 or the guy who catches 200 of them, which is usually what happens between the two of them. But Simon has really done a nice job creating a target. He's made some big plays, even with those little swing passes where the throw is short, but the run is long.
And there might even be a C vote before this one is over.
Yeah.
The Stampeders hanging in here. And Butterfingers there. Patullo got it right.
He got it in the yap.
knuckles.
He got it in the yap is what he got it. And I think the umpire screened him. The umpire's position, look where the umpire's position is right there over the middle. See, now here comes Patullo. He's going to flash right by the umpire. He kind of peeks at the umpire, turns back, and gets it right in the yap.
This will be the final play of the third quarter.
A big one, too, for the Stamps.
Lions lead it by 3, and they're pinned deep in their own zone. Stampeder defense needs a play here. And then Casey Printers absolutely hammered. Scott Coe. And he was waiting for the BC quarterback, who's slow to get up here.
He was in a spy technique on the back side of this play. KC Printers needs some help getting up after the hit. Scott Coe is in spy technique, and when Printers runs, Scott Coe lowers the boom.
At the quarter, brought to you by Reebok, the only brand that hangs in every CFL locker.
Woo, Scotty Coe. He has laid some big hits. He's played very well since coming over from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, finding a home in Calgary. The Lions came into this game on a 4-game win streak. During that win streak, they've been averaging 44 points a game. The deep ball's been their signature during the win streak, but they haven't hit it tonight.
No, they haven't. They got an interception trying to throw deep, and I'm going to show the folks why. You know, two things. First of all, the quarterback telegraphs the pass, and second of all, protection. And Waller Brown talked about wanting to stop the stunt. Here's Napasta coming in here, and here's Joe Fleming coming around here. It's Heathman's job now to pick up Joe Fleming and watch how he does it. Does a pretty good job, but in coming off onto Fleming right here, he leaves Napasta straight through to the quarterback. Other thing you're going to see right here, look at the eyes. They do not move from the start of the play to the end of the play. He's looking deep at Brazel, and Lysek here, as a young safety, even he knows that the quarterback keeps looking right, keeps looking right. He's going to go right, so he's waiting there, picks the ball off. Nice play.
Well, Jack, the good teams, they rise to their competition level, and back on July 29th, I tell you, that BC team beat Montreal and beat them good. But the good teams also dominate the teams that they should. And I'm surprised BC has not shown up. The defensive line for Calgary is winning, and the offensive line for Calgary is winning. One thing on Marcus Crandall, 5th offensive coordinator in 4 years. No one realizes how many different offenses he's had to run.
Yeah, that's right, including 2 this year with Jenkins being fired after 6 weeks, Matt taking over. But right now they're in a ball game, but they trail by 3.
Here are the BC Lions on 3rd down with their quarterback on the sideline, shaking the cobwebs out, and the Lions kicking from the end zone. O'Mani out to midfield, and this is Nick Lewis. Lewis gets inside the 40, so the Stampeders have immediate field position as a result of great plays by the defense, but there's a marker down.
Well,
Penalty
let's go back to the answer for the Calgary defense, to KC Printers now escaping up the middle. We talked about contain, that opens up the middle lane. Now it's the spy technique. This is the middle lane that Calgary has left Printers to attack through. But now the spy is Scott Coe. They're going to fill the lane with a spying linebacker, and if he comes up the middle to try to escape, the linebacker is there to take him out, and boy, did Scott Coe ever take out KC Printers. He had to be helped all the way to the sideline after that hit.
Penalty against the Stampeders on the return for holding, so instead of being in BC territory, the Stamps begin at the 45 of Calgary. Marcus Crandall looking comfortable, and he'll get a first down to Connell. Albert Connell making the catch. Stats after 3 quarters for Smirnoff Ice. Who knows where it'll go? And we can say that about this game.
Well, look at this. It's all balancing out, and good defensive effort from the Calgary Stampeders to hold the Lions to 15 first downs after 3 quarters, have the 4 sacks, and they've really thrown some adversity KC Printers' way, first time in his young career.
4th sack was the one that has Printers on the sidelines, wondering if he'll be back for the next sequence. Here's Crandall. And back-to-back strikes for Marcus Crandall.
The difference, Marcus Crandall right now. And, you know, if you give a real hungry dog just a smell of a little bit of raw meat, you're going to get them crazy. And if anyone coming into this game thought the Calgary Stampeders would be within 3, the BC Lions, I'd like to talk to him, because I don't think there was one person in this country who thought that was possible. The Calgary Stampeders are starting to believe, and you can feel it.
Including the two who are standing side by side up here at this point. Sanford made the catch. He was short of the first down, but this will be enough on second and a couple necessary.
Well, no, wait a minute. Now, I said a couple of times that this is a game not played on paper, and we are due for a team to come back and look for that upset. And, you know, the one thing that was a concern for the BC Lions was to look past what they had to be considering here in Calgary, a basic speed bump on their way to the next game. Marcus Crandall has played his best football in this one. He looks comfortable, and that's the first time, I believe, all year he smiled.
Well.
And on the sidelines, warming up for the Lions, Spurgeon Wynn.
Wow.
The interesting story is we have waited a long time to see Marcus Crandall emerge. Thinking back to the Grey Cup year, he ran through the West, led the Calgary Stampeders to the Grey Cup, and threw it to a victory. Was the most valuable player in that game. And since then, it has been a bit of a struggle on and off for Marcus Crandall, but he's got an opportunity here. And that's 3 for 3. Sanford again.
That was his best throw of the night. That was Marcus Crandall's best play of the entire night. Celicio Sanford comes across the middle, and Marcus Crandall had pressure all around him. The pocket collapsed on him, and he has to make a tough throw into coverage. Celicio Sanford is covered. Look at this pocket collapse. And there's coverage around Sanford, and he has to throw the dart, and he does. That was his best play of the game.
Interesting to note that Crandall has used 6 different receivers tonight, Glenn, with 2 catches each. So he's seeing the field and spotting his receivers. Play action fake and a little low. And behind his intended receiver over there, that was Connell. And it'll be 2nd and 10. $11:50 to go. Lots of time remaining in this one at McMahon Stadium on the final game of Week 10 of the CFL. We opened with the Argos win over Winnipeg. Followed that with the Hamilton victory over Ottawa. Last night, the Edmonton trouncing of Saskatchewan, and Calgary at BC is the final game of this week. Here's Crandall looking to the goal line.
Oh, Jason Crum came
Another
from a
fine
long
play by
way
Crum.
away to get involved. I mean, this ball is on the money to McGarity, and this is a catch on the 1-yard line. If not for the one guy that you don't really count in the coverage, he's just back there to help out. Normally on middle throws down the middle, seam routes, post patterns. Look at the ground he covers, and the knockdown on McGarity has the catch on the 1-yard line. Deshaun Austin was beat, and the safety, Jason Crum, makes the play for his halfback.
Charlie Hebert. He's got it. And it's all even at McMahon. Hebert back-to-back field goals to get the Stampeders into the tie. Final quarter to come, 11 minutes and 13 seconds remain in this one. Ready for the Calgary kickoff. Aaron Lockett deep for the Lions after the field goal, along with Eddie Linscomb.
We will see Spurgeon win by the looks of it. He has the helmet on. He's been warming up while Marcus Crandall was doing his thing. Calgary Stampeders offense. So it looks like KC Printers may have to take at least a series off.
Eddie Linscomb bobbles it, and Lockett recovers it. Lockett has it, and it rolled to his feet. There'll be no return. So the Lions are forced to replace their star, KC Printers, with the backup Spurgeon Wynn, who played a little bit last week, completing 2 of 4 for 18 yards, and that included a touchdown strike.
Very different situation that he went in the game than it is now. You got the game tied up. 11:03 left. That's very different for Spurgeon Wynn. You take a look at KC Printers. It's likely his final numbers for the night.
Printers already had 4 touchdowns on the board when Wynn came in last week. Eddie Linscomb spinning his way almost to the 30-yard line.
Wynn turns and hands to Eddie Linscomb, number 27.
In a tie game, the Stampeders have scored back-to-back field goals to get even.
And right now they have the advantage in field position if they can hold Spurgeon Wynn in this BC offense right here. Now it's up to Wynn, not necessarily to move this team and get him out of the problems, but to get him in a better field position for the defense to have a chance.
On second down, Spurgeon Wynn pumps once and goes back the other way. He'll have Simon.
What a big play.
Roy Simon makes another catch, found a way to get open, and it looked like everyone else was covered, but G. Roy found a little bit of territory out there.
It starts with time for Spurgeon Wynn. Nothing there. This is supposed to be a quick throw to the outside, so he goes back, now he waits. G. Roy Simon had come from the opposite side, and he's all the way over to the backside numbers before he catches that ball. If Spurgeon Wynn doesn't have that much time to throw that football, that play never has a chance.
3 defenders around G. Roy Simon, and he found the space. No one home that time.
But even if the BC Lions don't get a score out of this drive, they do reestablish some field position.
23 yards on that play, Glenn.
Yeah, now a punt from here, even a punt from here, forces the Calgary Stampeders to drive the length of the field for winning points. So now they've got 2 stars, the BC Lions, KC Printers and Dave Dickinson, standing on the sideline.
And you see KC Printers there shaking his head a little bit. He's not healthy. Flags down. Wynn can't connect.
32, Jason Claremont, the intended receiver.
Looking for Jason Claremont. And we'll check out the infraction. Wynn is also down on the turf here at McMahon, but up now.
Of course, the medical staff for the BC Lions being quite tight-lipped right now about the injury situation to KC Printers. Of course, they would be. Hit by Scott Coe.
Calgary 96. Second down repeated.
And he had problems with his hand and wrist area early. Something that he had a problem with early in the year. It was more of a cramp at that time. But the hit from Coe, he really didn't favor anything. He didn't limp off. He was helped off by his offensive lineman. Medical staff being tight-lipped right now.
2nd and 5. And Spurgeon Wynn a little off in his timing as he steps in relief here. So the Lions will be forced to kick it away on 3rd and 5. BC with 4 straight victories. The Stampeders trying to rebound from a devastating loss last week to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 46-16. And a little controversy surrounding the end of that game.
Wayne McGarrity's the deep man, number 86 for Calgary. Is dumping on it. Gets set up on 3rd down and 5.
O'Mahony just got it away. McGarrity bobbled it for a second, hangs on, and the Stampeders will begin with a 1st down at the 26. Just across the 25. Crandall stands in. He's got an open target. And the ball squirts loose. The Lions say they have it, and there's no indication from the officials yet. Yes.
They are.
It'll be a turnover going to the BC Lions.
It's the last read for Marcus Crandall. You can't blame him. This is just second and third effort turning into a bad thing instead of a good, and sometimes it's better for the receiver to just take what he can. Wayne McGarity fights, gets stripped from behind from Deshaun Austin. Dante Booker comes up with the recovery.
Deshaun Austin gives the Lions the opportunity to move into the lead.
He almost did it by accident, trying to tackle Wayne McGarity.
In an 18-18 tie. Printers is in, being chased, fired, and catch made, but they rule it inbounds too.
How Casey Printers got that one out there. They say he was a little dinged on the sideline. He was on that bike and he's back. And you can tell he's back because the completion just registered. Here's goes on the full run to his right. Full blitz coming. White, there's Brian Clark to the outside. And all the catches out of the backfield, Claremont has made a couple. That's the big one right there. He dropped a couple early. Made a tough catch there.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 for the Lions. Threatening here and a huge hit.
Oh, was it
on Andy Lincecum as he was airborne in behind that Lion offensive line. He'll have the first down, and this drive continues after the turnover for BC.
How about Garrett Smith on that? Matt Dunnigan cannot believe that his team has battled like this against the BC Lions, the front runner in the West. And this defense has battled just like that, fighting every down, and then a turnover puts them in a tough situation.
First down for the Lions. Printers sacked 4 times already. Eludes the Stampeder rush, not that tackle low. Robertson coming through, and Printers has been sacked 5 times now. Robertson gets the opportunity to play with John Grace injured last week.
What a defensive effort by the Calgary Stampeders. I mean, in this sudden change, it would have been easy for them to say, oh, that's it. We gave it a good college try. And the BC Lions, the better team, the top team in the West, after that turnover, this is where they take over, but they're still fighting. They continue to battle.
Of 11. 5 sacks by the Stampeders. Printers stands in, and this one is tipped. Is it intercepted? Yes. Picked off by Calgary. Lysak. 2 interceptions by Wes Lysak in this one, and that is by far the most important one for Stampeder fans.
Denny Crehan throws a wrinkle at Casey Printers. Brose goes to the middle. Lysak will now play in the hole here, and Sheldon Napustek is the guy who gets his hand on the football. He rotates the coverage, leaving the free safety, who's usually in the middle, down short, and Lysak gets that tip, bounce it around a little bit, makes a big interception for the Calgary Stampeders.
2 interceptions for Wes Lysak tonight, and the Stampeders are still even with the BC Lions. Crandall has Lewis, and he hangs on. 5:12 to go in the final quarter at McMahon Stadium.
Which again, we saw Spurgeon win. They're still with over 5 minutes. This is not desperation for Calgary. They need 3 or 4 first downs, and even at 3 or 4 first downs in a punt gives them about 2.5 minutes, but they play in the other end of the field.
Back-to-back turnovers. Lions recovered a fumble. The Stampeders got the interception. This is 2nd down and 6. Should get the first down here on a catch out in the flat. Montana needed 6 yards for the first down. And he'll move the sticks.
Blitz is picked up nicely. The BC Lions want to come with pressure to the outside here, and that's where Marcus Crandall wants to throw the football, but the blitz is picked up nicely. Jeff Pilon, and see this time Victor Ike slides across and makes the block he has to make so that the Calgary Stampeders can execute the first down.
An 8-yard pickup for Montana. The Stampeders are out near the 30 now. 4 receivers to the near side for Crandall. Throwing on his back foot and really had to fire this one out of bounds. There was no one home, no one open, and the heat was on.
2nd and 10.
Those are numbers that Marcus Crandall had a big game and a losing effort early on this season versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Crandall threw for 425, but he'll tell you this has been his best football game of the year, without question. And this may be the biggest play he'll face this season so far.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 situation for the Stampeders. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the field. Victor Ike.
Late flag, John. Down by Marcus Crandall. This may keep this drive alive.
3:27 to go. And the Lions looking a little sheepish down there.
Brent Johnson.
Roughing the passer. BC 97. Helmet hit to the head. First down.
It wasn't a big hit by any means, but it was to the head. Dump pass, and he just goes out to the left of your screen there. Marcus Crandall right here. You'll get a great look at it. Gets hit in the head.
Brent Johnson, 4 sacks on the season. But he got the quarterback there with his helmet. Net gain 18 for the Stampeders. Here's Victor Ike. Slides for a couple. He's near the 50. 3:04 to go.
You know, and I know there's been a lot of talk about the running game in Calgary, and I should say the lack of running game in Calgary, but Victor Ike's been dancing in the backfield because of the penetration. You might as well throw it if you can't block the run.
Well, and this team was not set to be a running football team when they began the season. Matt Dunnigan of the Stampeders, Wally Buono of the Lions, first ever meeting. For these two on the CFL sidelines, there were many duels prior to that when Dunnigan was a quarterback. Stampeders are looking at 2nd and 8. Crandall stands in. And no catch at midfield. It would have been short of the first down anyway as Montana went down and couldn't hang on.
Sam Young's timing was perfect. It was blocked up well. Scott Regenball steps over and takes the blitz on this side. There's Regenball right there. He takes the blitz coming from Carl Kidd to the left side of the formation. The ball gets out there, but the timing from Sam Young, who remember leads the league in interceptions and has played better every game out, his timing is perfect, and Calgary will have to punt.
Charlie Hebert in for the Stampeders. Aaron Lockett is deep for the Lions, standing back near his 25. Low snap, Hebert digs it up. It's away from Lockett, he bobbles it. Stampeders are all around. Who's got the football? They say the Lions have it. Biggest defensive stand for the Stampeders coming tonight and perhaps all season so far as the Lions are inside the 15 with a first down. Here's Casey Printers. They'll string him out and a flag flies.
Casey Printers was hit late.
I'm not sure that's where the flag was.
No, I don't think the flag is in a different area, but Printers is still down.
He's had a punishing night supplied by the Stampeder defense. 5 sacks, helped off the field once, and in extreme pain down there now.
Garrett Smith was the man in pursuit and hit Printers just as he was throwing the ball. I'm not sure that it was a late hit.
Contact on a receiver. Calgary, first down.
But he hit him hard, and Printers was rolling in pain the moment he got hit.
So it'll be up to Spurge and Wynn for the next sequence anyway.
Here comes the hit. Big 96, Garrett Smith in the game for Antoine Young. There's the throw. And we just lose him as he goes to the right of your screen there, but he went down hard, and then Garrett Smith landed on him, and I think when he landed on him more than anything is where Printers was hurt.
Casey Printers was sailing through his first 5 starts in the CFL.
Well, he's had a rough ride, though, tonight. The Calgary Stampeders came with a great game plan. Their game plan defensively was to try and hem him into the pocket. If he started to escape, when they kept wide and they started to escape in the middle, then they started spying him. That's the first time that Casey Printers was helped out, when Scott Coe hit him hard on a spy technique across the middle. He's had a rough ride tonight.
Yeah, that looks like a right leg injury. That's what he's favoring going off the field. And when Coe got him earlier, it was higher up, and it looked like he might have been seeing stars for a moment or two.
Now, you always, as a quarterback, want the ball in your hands with the time running down and the game on the line, and that's what Spurgeon Wynn now faces in that BC huddle. But at this point, the advantage is Calgary, simply because of the field position they're in right now, in the BC Lions end of the field. And that's what Marcus Crandall's couple of first downs did a few plays ago. He got a couple of first downs. That put some field position, gave the advantage to the Calgary Stampeders, but now they have to hold it.
And the penalty against the Stampeders gets the Lions out across the 25 with this first down for Spurgeon Wynn. He has Geroy Simon, and he's wrapped up short of a first down. Milo Lewis and Wes Lysak on the tackle, as Casey Printers tries to shake it off on the far side.
Well, the last one, the reason he was off was that he was dinged, and they wanted to wait him out one series. This time definitely limping on that right leg.
The score is 18-18. All even with 2:07 to go. Penalty marker is down. Wynn has his target. Ryan Thelwell made the catch, and that'll be first down territory for the Lions. We'll check the infraction, however.
Offside. BC 19. Second down repeat.
Wow.
This is huge, too.
Paris Jackson doesn't get a lot of reps, and that time was offside. That was a key first down. Now makes it second and long.
Jackson is in for Chris Brazel, who was shaken up.
The Calgary Stampeders played zone on that last first down throw that was taken away by Spurgeon Wynn.
1:59 to go in a tie game at 18. Spurgeon Wynn fired high, and that was Paris Jackson. It'll be third down, and the Lions will give it back to the Stampeders. This one has had it all. 1:55 to go. Nick Lewis is deep for Calgary. Good kick by O'Mani. Nice return for Nick Lewis. He's almost to the 50, and that's where the Stampeders will start this drive with 1:45 to go. Stampeders first down, and Crandall hopped that one. Might have skidded a couple of times to his intended target, Danny Montana.
Marcus Crandall just obviously needs to work for field goal range, which is where he is right now. Looking at 2 first downs. Basically at the 50-yard line, 49, his own 49-yard line. 2 first downs puts him the BC 40. 7 yards from there, you're looking at a 47-yarder. A Bears' longest was tonight.
Crandall. And this will be a first down. Juhas comes into the game, makes the catch, his first of the night, and the Stampeders are at the 50.
He needed 10, he got 10 and a half. Good poise from Marcus Crandall in key situation. Pressure on him, 2nd and long.
Charlie Hebert's longest field goal is 44 yards. You saw it here tonight. But he hasn't had to make one with the game on the line. And he's out of range for now. Crandall near side. Oh! It was there, and McGarity gave it away.
Wayne McGarity talked going into this game that he wanted the ball more. Now McGarity's got to be careful what he wished for and be ready if it does come to him, because that drop was key, and he fumbled one early on that his defense bailed him out of. But the drive right here and the opportunity the Calgary Stampeders have is the opportunities that, if you're successful, can really turn a season around for you and can turn around a player's fortunes. And Marcus Crandall's been struggling, but this drive right here could change things for him.
2nd and 10, Stampeders, the heat is on. Crandall won't get away. And Carl Kidd, who's been silent much of the night, comes up with the play.
On the sidelines from the officials as to who has possession.
Kidd is saying that the Lions should get possession, trying to indicate that he might have touched it as it was going out of bounds. We'll take a closer look. There's no penalty down there, and the officials are handing the ball to the Stampeders. We'll see how close he was.
Tabenio takes the block. Carl Kidd with great speed. Now, when the ball is stripped like that, it goes to the offense. You have to be the last one to touch it before it goes out of bounds again. So Carl Kidd, he wants the football. He thinks it's Lions ball, but this is a good call. This is just...
Well, I think it actually went off a Stampeder there anyway, didn't it? Even though Kidd knocked it loose. Hebert wants to pin the Lions deep at the 15. And superb special teams tackling on Aaron Lockett. So the game story, well, it's not quite over yet, but let's update you on what's happened so far for Sport Check. G. Simon again.
Yeah, he does his thing, and if Spurgeon Wynn was wise right now, he'd just look for number 81 in this last series. Couple of turnovers by each team. Calgary's defense has played great all game long tonight.
Stampeders still can't run the football effectively, and the wind turned in to be a factor with 23 points scored with the wind. Game story for Sport Check.
Too many men. BC, 3rd down repeated.
Sport Check, proud supporter of the CFL. So the Stampeders...
Well, wait a minute now. Too many men
are looking at a 3rd and 1 all of a sudden. So a huge error by the Lions.
Well, now the crowd is wondering why.
Why don't you kick the field goal?
Well, hold on. First of all, Matt Dunnigan has 2 choices. Now it becomes 3rd and 1.
BC.
Well, the Lions have called the timeout to take a little heat off the Stampeders, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well, here's the situation that Matt Dunnigan faces. That penalty for too many men makes it 3rd and 1. So there's an opportunity to gamble right here with 51 seconds left.
Marcus Crandall straight ahead for a yard.
Number 2 option is it creates a 49-yard field goal as it stands.
For a kicker whose longest was tonight at 44.
Into the wind, slightly, a slight wind.
3rd and 1 is what the Stampeders are looking at. And they had a little problem judging things at the end of the opening half. But I think they have to go for it here, Glenn, don't you?
Well, you got to. I think this is a great call because
this is the opportunity you need.
This is the opportunity. You've got the best team in the West right now on the ropes in a tie game. You're in their end of the field. Even if you don't get it, your defense still has a chance to hold. This is a good call. Go ahead and gamble, and it's only a yard.
And you give it to your best back, and right now your best back is Marcus Crandall. And the ball squirted loose before Crandall hit the ground. Lions say it's theirs, but I thought he might have been stopped. It is. It's a fumble turnover. It goes to the Lions.
Wow.
So all of a sudden the gamble doesn't look quite as right, but I still believe that that's what they had to do. Crandall had to get lower, though, didn't he?
He couldn't. He couldn't get any lower because of the surge of that BC Lion defense. I mean, they plugged the middle completely. He tried to go up over the top. Look at Barron Simpson in there. Carl Kidd comes from the outside. He gets involved. The ball pops out. No question, that's a fumble. And now Crandall's being tackled. He can't get to it, and Kidd's the first guy over there. I still like the call from the Calgary Stampeders in that opportunity.
45 seconds to go. Spurgeon win at the controls for the Lions. And Claremont makes the tackle. He's short of the first down. 41 seconds on the clock.
Milo Lewis made the stop for Calgary.
That would have been a 48-yard field goal try for the rookie kicker, Charlie Hebert.
Now what happens in that situation is the coach will always ask the kicker if that's within his range with the conditions. And obviously Charlie Hebert said to Matt Dunnigan that it wasn't.
29 seconds to go in an 18-18 tie.
Now on the other side, Duncan O'Mahony's longest on the season is 46 yards. Coming into this game tonight, he has been perfect, and he needs another 2 first downs from his offense to get out there on the field and have a realistic opportunity. But even with the gamble from Matt Dunnigan, you still have your defense on the field with a chance.
58, still second down.
With a chance for a stop here and get the football back.
Second and 8. Spurgeon win draws the Stampeders quickly.
It looked like Freddie Moore moved on the outside, and it'll be procedure once more against the Lions, and that pushes them back again.
Illegal procedure, BC 58, still second down.
So it was procedure that drew the Stampeders.
Now this has been G-Roy Simon time all year. When they need the big one, look to 81.
This will be 2nd and 13 for Spurgeon win. They won't get the first down. He gets the strike.
Another tough
Claremont.
catch by Jason Claremont.
19 seconds to go. And overtime looms at McMahon Stadium tonight.
Wayne
might have been.
Wayne McGarity is going back. The Calgary Stampeders throughout this year and the punt team have done a lot of pressure, meaning putting one returner back and sending pressure, trying to block the kick rather than set up a return. Trey Junkin, the special teams coach, loves to attack with his special teams. Now Calgary will use their timeout in the second half to make sure they have everybody on the field. This is where you don't want that too many men call or a penalty at the wrong time. So you get the troops organized. The BC Lions need to get this one away deep and even try and corner it if they can to prevent the return.
Stampeders have had success blocking kicks and lead the league with 3.
Well, you can tell right away by alignment what they're deciding to do, and they've got 2 returners back in Wayne McGarity and Nick Lewis. So they're trying to set up the return and play it safe.
18-18 on the scoreboard. 19 seconds on the clock. Clock has started as O'Mahony gets it away. They need a return here to the 42 with 8 seconds remaining.
If you're quick, you throw about a 25-yard out, you may get 2 plays. If you're quick.
Looking back to the final sequence in that first half where the Stampeders had an opportunity for a field goal that they squandered.
Basically what you do here, if you've got 8 seconds left in the football, it's one chance to go down the sideline. You throw a fade. If it's not caught, it's incomplete. Then you go into overtime. But one 25-yard throw puts the field goal team on the field.
25 yards and out.
It's got to be quick.
Juhas kicks the ball after making the catch. It's a live ball.
Got to get 5 yards, though.
No, they don't. Give the 5 yards.
Mike Juhas made the catch. Made the kick.
Juhas was trying to get it into the end zone. Zeros on the clock, penalty marker on the field. So we can't add regulation this way.
When the ball's kicked, you still have to give 5 yards.
And they didn't.
No yards interference. Calgary 86. First down.
And so the Lions get one more play.
But not a bad thought.
No, Juhas likely just had to get
another
10 yards or
further,
so. Yeah.
But this is something, too, that you have to be prepared. Trey Junkin had to have practiced something like this, the old quick kick. Throw the ball down the field, turn around, and if you get a good bounce, you get the ball in the end zone, you get a single, you win the game. But you're right, Mike Juhas needed another 10, 15 yards either on the kick or before he caught the football. We're going to have a little overtime.
I don't think there's any way to avoid that. And absolutely no way to avoid overtime. 18-18, headed to the extra time at McMahon tonight. The Lions looking to make it 4 straight wins. The Stampeders trying to rejuvenate the season. There's more football ahead. Wally Buono has never lost to the Calgary Stampeders since moving to Vancouver 1 year ago. His record is 2-0. And he had all kinds of success at McMahon Stadium before changing colors.
Well, now remember, this is the new overtime. The format is they have a coin toss again, and we're playing for 2 points. When they changed the overtime format to this shootout, this overtime shootout, they had 1 point for the tie for both teams, and then they went and played for the extra point. Well, now it's 2 points. It's 2 points. So that's the importance of this. Here's the rules. Teams will play a maximum of 2 mini games, and you swap ends in between games. You have to match the points that the offense gets. You have a coin toss to see how you start.
Now each team could gain the 1 point if in fact the score remains tied when the mini games are done.
That's right. You only play the 2, you don't continue on.
(18-18) is the score. Looking back, a couple of touchdowns.
Eddie Lenscomb early. Marcus Crandall had a response for that one.
This was a beauty. Nick Lewis, yes, just across to break the play.
Second effort there. Then we move to the second half. Frank Vitolo got involved in that drive on a couple of big catches, including that touchdown. So the Calgary Stampeders will start on defense in the first mini game.
The ball scrimmaged at the 35. Spurgeon win. Thelwell came back, made the catch at the 6.
William Fields felt that he was interfered with from Ryan Thelwell, but there is no flag. They were both battling to come back.
I think Thelwell did take a little bit of an advantage here as you look at it.
Well, first of all, Spurgeon Wynn was trying to get this ball out of their pocket, and Freddie Moore almost tackled him, his own tackle. And you can see how Fields had fallen down. Look at Spurgeon Wynn trying, get out of my way, I'm trying to throw the ball here.
First and goal to go. The Lions are at the Stampeders 6. Spurgeon Wynn. Will he get the touchdown? They get to the 1 yard line and not quite across.
Now remember, whatever the BC Lions end up with here, it's not sudden death. So a score here does not end the game. A score here just dictates what the Calgary Stampeders have to match.
Stampeders have the right to match is what it really works out to here.
So they get down to the 1 yard line. They get the major here. They put the pressure on the Calgary Stampeders to match that major.
2 cracks at it for the Lions here from the 1. as Simon got them down there. A great view. Linscomb, and easily for the touchdown. So the Stampeders have to respond to that.
Big play made by Ryan Thelwell. Puts the pressure in this overtime squarely on the Calgary Stampeders' shoulders offensively. Linscomb will finish it off with this touchdown, and he walks in. But the play is made by Ryan Thelwell, who had a battle going with William Fields. Gave Fields a little shove. He went down, came back to the football to set up the major in the first half of the overtime.
And they'll have to match the convert as well. So it's 25-18, Lions leading the Stampeders.
And there's always the debate as to whether you start on defense or do you start with the football.
You know, and in a lot of ways, it's the way you played the game. If you were an offensive guy, you're thinking that way, aren't you? You're a defensive guy, you'd think perhaps the other way.
Yeah, I like it on defense to try and create a turnover or something and let your offense just go and kick a field goal to win. As it stands now, all the pressure on Marcus Crandall here to match. If they do, they go to another mini game.
First opportunity for Crandall, and he'll get the strike at the 25. It should be enough with Montana's catch to move the sticks, and it is.
The one thing that Matt Dunnigan knows, though, is what he has to match. That's the advantage of starting on defense, because now it's 3-down football. He has to have the major, so there's no second guessing. He just has to go now for the entire thing. If you don't start on defense, you don't know what you have to match yet. Does that make sense?
I've got you.
Okay.
I'm following right along. First down, Stampeders. Crandall just missed. Coverage was tight.
Nick Lewis wanted a penalty
on Derek Lewis, who was covering.
Well, let's take a look. Nick Lewis is coming across. We'll have a nice look for him. Here you go, right across the middle. Number 17, Bo Lewis in coverage. Little hands there, little grab there, and I'd say Nick Lewis had a bit of an argument. You have to be tackled in OT, though.
2nd and 10. You're bringing out the hockey rules. Flag down, and he had to throw it away. Looked like McGarity might have got an early jump. So now it's 3rd down. It all comes down to this for the Calgary Stampeders. And if Dunnigan can't get the first down or the end zone here, the talk will be about the final play of the first half.
Calgary 86. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Well, it all comes down to one play for Marcus Crandall. Remember, he doesn't need the touchdown. He just needs 10 yards. That continues the drive.
That's right. But 10 is an absolute necessity for the Stampeders here. He won't get it. Wrapped up. And that's the ball game. Stampeders come close as they have been against a great team in the CFL this season. And Wally Buono's BC Lions prevail.
The gamble for Matt Dunnigan at the end of the game in regulation, I thought was a great call. Call he had to make, and it didn't cost him because it went to overtime. But Ryan Thelwell's play in overtime was the difference for Wally Buono's BC Lions.
The Lions have won 5 in a row.